All right, guys, welcome to another Toondudes commentary. This is Wild Waves. This was the 15th and final cartoon in 1929, released on December 18th of that year. This is the final cartoon we're doing for this little series for now, and I have a special guest for the occasion. You want to say hi?
No. Hey, guys.
This is an animation talk, Anthony's animation talk, and he does a lot of great stuff on his channel, so go check him out too. There will be a card and a link in the description too if you don't want to click the card for whatever reason. So the reason I had you here for this one is just this is the only cartoon in 1929 that didn't involve Iworks.
Yeah. Yeah, and the weird thing about that is how, with the whole thing about Oswald the Lucky Rabbit, how a lot of Walt's animators defected, Works stood by Walt's side, basically, and they created Mickey, and the rest is history. And yet, Ub was lured away, along with Carl Starling, away from Walt, not long after Mickey became popular, which was probably, in hindsight, not the best decision, but, it's just what it is, because this is also Carl Starling's last film with the Walt Disney Studio.
Yeah, and you're more familiar with him at the Looney Tunes studio because you've been listening to his work.
Although he doesn't go there straight away. He joins Works at his studio, and I think does a few more things, and then ends up at Warner Brothers, where he does compositions for a long time. Long time. Definitely. And it's funny that the next film after this one, in terms of release order, is the Skeleton Dance, which is the first Silly Symphony, and that was Carl Starling's sort of idea. So, yeah.
I have to say, too, the wave animation there, it was reused for the Castaway. By the way, if you don't know what those two pigs are doing underneath that boat, you're too young to be watching me.
Well, those were actually before Piggy became famous at the Harmonizing Studio, when they made a few of those shorts. I think that was their pre-famous days. They were like extras.
Quote unquote famous, I will have to say that.
Yes.
So the Oswald cartoon that this mostly gets compared to is actually called All Wet, I believe, which was released in 1927. And this is basically a carbon copy of that. However, they moved the hot dog gag from that cartoon over to the Carnival Kid. So it's not exactly the same, and there is a musical number in this one with some very funny animation. There's a lot of stills in this cartoon that could give us a little chuckle.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it's also interesting that Mickey's singing voice is different from the actual speaking lines, because Carl Starling does the speaking lines, but the general thought is that the singing voice is done by Walt Disney himself.
Yeah, I mean, it could be. I mean, I guess that little bit of information is a little bit lost to time. We can't be certain about things like that, but I will say that, Walt definitely liked to take credit for playing Mickey all the time, but that's definitely not the case. Like, he's...
No.
Yeah.
How unmodel are these two? I just love how unmodel Minnie is, sorry.
Yeah, the eyes, I don't know what's going on there.
Yeah, very weird. Because what would happen, after Iworks leave, you would have Fred Moore would come to the studio, and he would basically rise the ranks pretty quickly, and he would end up being the go-to Mickey Mouse guy.
Expert.
If you want to know, the expert essentially. So you'll find that after Iworks leaves, some of the cartoons look a little bit wonky, but then they improve fairly quickly, and then once Fred Moore is in charge, well, yeah, they're absolutely amazing.
There's actually a quote. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, this is a preview for Silly Symphonies right here.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. This is right here. But I really wanted to quickly say, before I forgot, that about 10 years after this came out, there was going to be a compilation for Mickey's 10th birthday or something like that. And apparently, as it only got far enough that Walt and his crew at the time were looking over the previous cartoons, And Walt was famous in saying, when he was watching this cartoon in particular, I can't remember what scene it was, but he mentioned to somebody that, would you believe that this once got a laugh?
Yeah.
We all know what kind of perfectionist Walt was, so I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you can see why. Oh, and here's Carl Starling again, by the way. Not the look. He's not a lookalike or anything, but that's his singing voice right there.
Oh, I believe that. I mean, yeah. I mean, to be fair to Walt, though, with that statement, I mean, if I look at things I did 10 years ago, I wouldn't be proud of it.
Yeah, if I listen, I'm too scared to listen to my old Bosco commentaries when I first started out my commentary
Oh,
project.
really?
So, yeah.
I'm the same with my really old YouTube videos.
But you got to start somewhere. You can't like think of the first look. The first year of the Mickey Mouses was essentially like the first year of the Simpsons, the first season, where they were trying things out. Some things stuck, some things didn't, and yeah.
Yeah, just know that even if your first year isn't great at something, you could be a billionaire by the end of it. So,
Sure.
I
Absolutely.
love the
So I
mouth
think,
movements there. But we're
yeah.
nearing the end of this cartoon, and what are your final thoughts, Anthony?
Look, this one is kind of forgettable in terms of as a cartoon itself, but it is interesting from a historical point of view.
It's better than the Mickey plays the piano for 5 minutes cartoons, I'll tell you that. But
No,
compared to
that's crazy
those, this
talk.
one's got a huge plot. So, you know, there will be a video at the end of all of this that goes in a little bit more detail about all this, more of an analytical point of view. But you want to say goodbye, Anthony?
No. See you guys.